Go around the rise, eh? Mama say to I should tell show on vibrations every bucka. May your mind buckers and souls be old, may your omits be sound, may your buckers be leaven off ground when we keep to our breath, the orth, the mothor, the seon, the soul of Ra, guides and keeps you old. Ion Matata. Elai, say El say I, the Ma'a Ed, Christ or a chaplain. Amen say Otara, the sound Messiah. I am my truth awareness, true talk. Come be a part of the greatest transfer of Ma'el, that's intelligence, terminology to Ungodu. This is sound logic. And with all that being offered to you, being a fool is absolutely your choice to raise Ray 1918. This is the Crypto Shit Show. The Shit Shower, where we remind you that the blockchain is not a financial umbrella that you can hold and prevent shit from head. All right. Well, the first indicator, Bitcoin is over 91.1, I believe. That's right. Let's go to the Bitcoin Kagedora quickly. Check out our indicator gauges so we can gauge what and where Bitcoin is in relation to the Kagedora timeline. All right, so we are right here, 1918. All right, so 1 and 9 is 1. 1 and 8 is 9. 1 and 9 is 1. Okay, you got that. So what has happened today? Well, today, Bitcoin has given us a little shaving. It's dropped out of the lukewarm zone. It didn't hit the top yet. It's going to save that for this cycle, perhaps. Because it's got to be up to Ray, it would have had to have been up to $101,000. So that indicator says it's below par. So we always have to assume Bitcoin is always trying to make its way towards par as long as it's going up and it's not in par or not in the Luke zone. The Luke zone, highly programmable, like I mentioned in my last video. It's a zone where you don't realize where you are. You're neither here nor there. You're hitting past a few known markers like the 95. So when you get up into that Luke zone, you're all euphoric and you get trapped. Well, when you know those zones, in this case, Bitcoin has to be above 100,000. So we've come from the old established Luke zone between 88 and 91, I believe it was. So now it's 96 to 99. We'll even give it up to 100,000. But that is what it is. Now, this zone, called the Luke zone, is programmable because if you're putting in your money and you start buying in that zone, then most probably it's going to force Bitcoin out of that zone. If you're cashing and taking your profits in that zone, believing that it's topped off because it would have been above 95, it would have been 96, you should be expecting it to be going towards the high, right? So when it starts dipping, you start slipping. And that's when Bitcoin traps the shorts and goes longer. And that's what we have happening now. Okay, so like I said, we can see clearly Bitcoin's going to be above $91,100. Okay, that's what it has to be. Okay, 91.1. That's what it has to be. Tomorrow has to be above 91.2. The next ray after that has to be above 91.3. Next ray after that has to be above 91.4. Next ray after that has to be 91.5. When Bitcoin gets into the hundreds, then it's going to have to be above 101, 102, 103, 104, 105. All right, when Bitcoin gets above 110, it has to be 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, and so on until it reaches true or sound par, which is 190,119 or 190,000 and 190, 190,200, 190,210, and so on and so on and so on. All right, or 192,200. That's right. 192,200, 192, 21,109, 192,200. All right, that's how we're using the Kagadora. That's how we are projecting, because we know that the blockchain, Bitcoin, is just another application. It is just another parasite virus program that we interact with that controls our behavior and gives them access to our ore, all right, to our ETH, weakens our electric-magnetic field. All right, so we're going to go back to the Kagadora again because we're having a little bit of a cycle review. All right, so the cycle's over. We're in our new cycle. All right, so we've seen the high and this cycle present itself on the 7. Okay, so if we're at a 1, today is Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So Wednesday we saw the high. All right, we're going to go to the charts and confirm this. All right, and an 8, 9 started coming down to rate. It continued to come down, dropped out of the Luke zone. Okay, so now we're going to go to the charts and we're going to confirm what we just saw, because it is very important for those who are speculating on obtaining the Kagadora as a tool to help you make choices when it comes in regards to your investments. All right, so remember, today is 1, so 7 would be 4 days. Okay, so we got 1, this little blip. Okay, you can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 1. Okay, let's here. Here's where we are today. Okay, here's where we are today. All right, so this is 1, 9, 8, 7. Okay, 7 was at 97,000. Okay, this would have definitely been a split ray. This would have been 7 before it was 7, 100%. Okay, just like Teray was both 17 and, or both, 1917 and 1918. All right, we're going to show this to you in a moment, right here. All right, so if you see that time, it is 1:29 on 1919. You understand that? Okay, so I actually said that Teray was 1918. You know, understand? That's how that's what I'm talking about. It's 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. All right. So today's Saturday. In an hour, it's going to be Sunday. Right now is 19. And just like it's scheduled, Sunday will also be 19, because it's going to be Sunday in an hour, and the Gregorian calendar would have caught up to the Kagadora. You understand? So when we go back to the charts now, we even have a greater perspective. Okay, because this is actually 5 days, not 4. Okay, so 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Okay, we're going to go back to the Kagedora. Look, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. What number do you see, my buckers? You see number 7. Okay, it's like clockwork. Just like clockwork. Like I told you, sometimes you get the high here. Sometimes you might get a high here. Okay, between 7 and 9, you're going to see the high. You're going to see the low. Okay, so let's go see what the low is. Okay, let's go see, because this low should also be the low for this new cycle coming in. We're going to go back to the charts. Okay, so the low is today, really. Or no, let's be fair. No, let's be fair to the Kagedora here. Okay, so here is 19, 18, 17, and look at that wick right there. Okay, 94, 169 is our low, peeps. That's our support. That's using the Kagedora to find support. If it drops below 94, 169, it's probably going to the 91, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s. Those are those indicators. Still haven't really named them. I thought I had a name earlier, but I forgot it. But it's okay. Oh, yes. It's called the erect line. Okay? So if Bitcoin is above, let's go back to the Kagedora. So you like that, peeps. Remember, 94. Okay, this 94 too. Okay, that was, look, 1, 2, 3 days ago. We're going to go to the Kagedora, and we're going to see what day it was 3 days ago. Look, we're at 19. Okay, look, 19. 3 days ago, the 17 was 9. Okay, and we've dropped even lower than that. Well, not lower, but we've dropped below the Luke zone. After bouncing from the low to the high, just like I always say, it happens. Okay, we've come back down. And we've come back down again, even more right now. Okay, so now that we're in the 2s, it should actually be going up. Okay, but because Ray is a special ray, these Dracos like to celebrate things backwards, right? So if they are not having some crazy event on this earth, that's causing a lot of misery, then definitely they're going to use the stocks to take it out. All right, so we have to be very, very, very mindful. Today there's going to be lots of volatility because it's a 1-1. All right, you have 1 and 9 equals 1, and 1 and 9 equals 1. So this is the Ayahuasca code. This is the mark of the abyss. Okay, not the beast. They are the abyss. They're not putting anything on Ra anymore. Okay, we got this. You understand that? Okay, so there's going to be some volatility. All right, so if this wasn't a special ray, I would be saying that they could be bringing it up. They've gotten through the storm of radiation, of extrasolar activity. Okay, I told you this always happens between 7 and 9. Okay, the Earth always gets, extra energy. Okay, it's like I told you, it gets impregnated, it gets spores, it gets life sent to it, it gets juice. All right, so what we got to see is that with this special ray, with the special number being a pillar, being parallel, okay, it could be a good opportunity for them to go up. Like I said in my last video, I think I put it in the title, trapping shorts. Okay, that's what they're going to do. Okay, you're going to trap shorts. All right, because you don't realize what the Luke zone is. Okay, and the Luke zone is a nucleus. It's not going to do anything outside of what you program it to do. All right, so if you're holding on to your whatever, I mean, that's about as neutral as you can possibly be. But if you're buying in that zone or selling in that zone, then that is going to set the direction of Bitcoin. All right. If you're buying with the anticipation of it going up and that outweighs the people that are taking profit, then it's going to go down. If people are taking profit, then it's going to go up. It's like a hot air balloon. It's not going to go so high with a lot of weight on it. And that's just the way that it is. All right. It's just the way that it works. So, given the indicators, given that right now is in fact 1-1, and if you look at the Kagadora, it being, we just saw the time 1 due, and it's like saying it's 1 hour and certain minutes in Kagadora in Gregorian time, but in our time, that is very close to 3 hours. All right, so we're gonna go to the hourly, and we're gonna see that there's probably some increased volatility in the charts, in the markets, as soon as this thing turned to 1-1. Okay, it's like a magic timeline that only sound beings live on, or the beings that are adverse to sound observe. All right, so look, okay, almost 3 hours. Look, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it bottomed out just before it turned to 1-1, 1919. After 1919, it's all up. Okay, so this is the cycle when they most probably can get into the par zone. Certainly, they're going to show you the top of the Luke zone. They already established the Luke zone. They got up beyond 96,000. All right, the fact that they dropped below 95,000 and have bounced up showed you the trap, okay, of all the shorts. Now, you would think that the shorts did well because Bitcoin went down, but that ain't the case, okay? Doesn't work like that. I can guarantee most of those shorts, people who went short, unless you have extremely low leverage, you got caught. Okay, that's just the way that's just it. All right, that's just the way that it works. Let me just refresh this screen here. Well, I guess I can't refresh it. All right, so the rule stays the same. You got lots of marks. You got 96,000 to get back into the Luke zone. You got your 95,000 mark. Okay, that's just a general, has nothing really to do with the Kagadora. That's just a general marker there. Okay, and so the next line that you got to watch out for is 94.2. Okay, why? Because that was the low that was established on the 9. Okay, that was the low. All right, so if it breaks below that, now you're looking for the erect zone. Okay, so in this case, you just follow the Kagadora. Terray is a 2, so Bitcoin has to be above 91.2. Okay, 91,200. Okay, if it falls below that, then it's in the limp zone. Okay, it passes the limp line. Okay, so going down, it's the erect zone is at the top. So if it was if today's 1919, which would be a 2, then 91.1 would be the limp line. So 91.2 is erect. It's good. It's up. 90, if it falls below 91.1, then it's limp. Okay, 91.1 would be the limp line. All right, if it's going up, then 91.1 would be, say, the arousal line. Okay, and 91.2 would be the erect line. You get a hard on. All right, we're just having some fun here. So you can see Bitcoin having a lot of volatility. That's what I'm trying to show you about the shorts. It looks like the line was down and you have to sell, right? You have to sell the case that you're going down. You can't sell shorts when you're going up. You understand this, people? Okay. Any time it stops at a level, you're going to think it's going to go down. It's just going to continue to go up. All right. And it's the same thing on the way up. Okay, just because it looks like it's up doesn't mean the people who are, in futures, for instance, or even buying spot, weren't experiencing some losses before it recovered. If not, they've taken losses. All right. So, once again, go to Google, go to Apple, download the Mathorian Kagadora app. That's Kagodora. Kagadora. And go to aminra.com, get the printed version of the desktop, the poster, and the classic calendar Kagadora. All right? That's the one with the rings you can hang on your wall. We definitely need your support. We got lots of development that we would like to continue on to make this more user-friendly and actually have a lot more utility to both the app, the calendar, and we got a little bit of a surprise that we're holding back, but stay tuned. I don't consent to draconian state, nor should you hashtag that in your post. Thought is support at spawnstelliginsteadoffungi.org. Your mental health is directly tied to your etheric compass. You got to get reorientated back to sound. That's the solarization that we do at Jesus.com. We reconnect you to Baum. Erectionary. We got the words in the dictionary that die your erection. We counter that with the Ta'angodu Sound Logic search engine. We're also upgrading, evolving, updating that. We want to complete it. So your support is needed. Go to Jesus.com. Sign up. That's the Crypto Shit Shower update for today, 1919. I think that might be the first video that I started in 1918 and had to correct myself and come into the next ray. But that's how it goes. That's how it goes when you live by the ray, not by the day. All right? Don't forget that the blockchain is not a financial umbrella that you can hold and prevent shit from showering down on your head. Only sound logic can give you an opportunity and give you a chance. All right? And that final note, get the Kagadora. All right? Get Bitcoin to do the dance for you instead of following Bitcoin and dancing around for it.